Hello, you're watching Proactive London. I'm joined today by Graham Purdy. He's the CEO of Ilika. So, Graham, you've shipped your first batch of prototype Goliath batteries to a Tier 1 automotive customer, a big milestone for the company.
Yeah, exciting times, Stephen. Great to be talking to you again and being able to demonstrate actually that we followed up on the roadmap that we've had published now for a couple of years, and that we've delivered on our goal of turning that D4 development milestone that we announced at the tail end of 2023 into a series of validated prototype P1 cells, which is the nomenclature that we use for designating this particular design freeze. We've actually just last month, I don't know if you remember, we actually started a customer-sponsored in-house test program, where we took some of that batch of P1 cells and we started testing them under customer supervision. But now one of our other customers has said, actually, we'd like the physical batteries to be able to connect them to our own test equipment. And so that's what we've dispatched. We've sent those through to that customer, and that program now, a second program, is commenced under their guidance.
And I presume that external validation is important, Graham.
Absolutely. I mean, customers take different views as to what's the best environment to test these cells in. They've also got their own test protocols, but we have a baseline, benchmark testing protocols that we verified these cells against. And now it's great to be able to share some of the physical product with customers for them to be able to do their own thing with them and then give us that feedback about what they find, because it broadens the database, it broadens our knowledge of how this product is performing, and we're looking forward to further validation from that.
Can you tell us a little bit more about the P1 prototype, particularly as you move towards your P2 prototype?
Yeah, well, the P1 prototype is a relatively small battery. It's a pouch cell. It's got a capacity of about 2 amp hours and a voltage of about 4 volts. These are all familiar parameters to the customers that we're interacting with. It's not actually our minimum viable product, so we wouldn't try and license this product for integration into a full module or pack. That's what the minimum viable product, or P2 prototype's all about. But it's an important milestone on the journey towards that product, which we expect to have ready in the course of calendar year 25.
You mentioned other customers. Are you engaging with other OEMs and automotive customers at the moment, Graham?
Yeah, that's right. We've got a portfolio of about 14 materials transfer agreements with customers. Some of them are engaging at this P1 stage, and others are waiting for further development point, D point data, so that they can assess what the best point for them to start taking prototypes themselves is. But over the next 12 months, we expect to work through that list of engagements and ship further batches to customers for their validation.
So what can we expect next from Ilika, Graham?
Well, we can expect some more information about the feedback, actually, that we're getting from customers. We can expect some more D-point confirmation. So as our batteries get bigger and the performance gets iterated and improved over the next few months, with a view towards pushing towards P2, and then actually the commercial engagement that goes hand in hand with that technology roadmap.
I'm sure we're going to be chatting again very soon then, Graham. Thank you very much for the update today.
It's my pleasure. Speak again soon. Thank you, Stephen.
You're welcome. Graham Purdy, the CEO of Ilika.